Ken Whiting here, doing something that I do every year. I'm giving some awards out to the top paddling gear of the year. I give awards to the top paddling gear that I actually test. I'm not giving awards to products that look good on paper. To let you know up front, there are probably lots of other products on the market right now, new products that are deserving of a PaddleTV award. But these products that I'm mentioning are ones that I've actually tested this year, put through various adventures, and I believe deserve special recognition for being awesome. All right, so the first PaddleTV award goes to this sucker right here. This is the Gearlab Outdoors Deck Pod Pro. This is, I believe, the fourth of their deck pods. The deck pods, really all they are deck bags. They're bags that are designed to really simply mount because of this cool system they have for clipping on to any kayak that has perimeter lines. Typically, some recreational kayaks, nearly all touring kayaks or sea kayaks have them. It mounts in front so you have easy access to gear. I use it for water, snacks, sunscreen, bug dope, things like that. As well as it's got these spots for a bilge pump, paddle float if that's what you're bringing. The neat thing about the Deck Pod Pro is that it also comes with this frame and the camera mount so that you can very easily and simply film your paddling adventures. I use this on pretty much every adventure this year. Everyone I could clip this bag onto, and that's why I'm giving it a PaddleTV award, because it's one of those pieces of gear that I just wanted to use on every trip because it made it so easy to do two things at once: carry gear that I wanted easy access to and mount a camera to get great shots. It comes with a mounting kit for both action cameras like GoPros, as well as phone. I just use it for action cameras, GoPros in particular. It also comes with this little connection that is designed to allow you to quickly and easily change the direction of the camera. Now, I actually didn't use this. I tried it once, but I found that when I added this on top and the camera was higher up, I got a little bit more bounce, sway from the camera than I wanted, because the frame is rigid, but it's not super rigid, and so it has some play. Anyway, I didn't use this, but a lot of people do like to use that. Very cool piece of gear, definitely worthy of a PaddleTV award. So the next PaddleTV award, well, it's a double award, and it's going to the NRS Swig Hydration Pack and the NRS Odyssey PFD. Now, full transparency, NRS is a sponsor partner of mine, and they have been for like 10 years, but that's not why I'm giving them the awards for these products. I get to try a lot of NRS products, and these products really stood out this year. In fact, I kept going back to them on some of these real paddling adventures I did over the course of the summer, spring and summer. So sure, I might be a little biased, but these are worthy of a PaddleTV award. It's not because I'm sponsored by them. Why do they deserve a PaddleTV award? Well, hydration packs, to be honest, I've never used a hydration pack for my paddling trips. And that's, well, a combination of things. I've never had one that just fit really well onto one of my life jackets, and that's what this does. The Swig is designed specifically to attach very easily to NRS's life jackets. Not all of their life jackets, so you have to make sure you get a life jacket that does attach to. It gets 2 liters of water. The other cool thing about it is it has a great magnetic clip system on the chest, which when you're paddling makes it really easy to just clip on, take a drink, clip off. This hydration pack wasn't just great for carrying easily accessible water for me, in particular on one trip, on a 5-day trip I did on Lake Superior. I got into some pretty heavy water and into some, it was big water and really strong winds. And I was very exposed. And I was alone, and there's no way I was going to take a hand off of my paddle. There's absolutely no way I was going to pop my skirt and grab a water bottle. There's no way I would have reached for a water bottle on the deck of my kayak, even if it was exposed. Having this water accessible just by quickly grabbing it and sucking on it was huge. And it made this 1.5 hour high intensity crossing, well, a lot safer and bearable. I grew to love hydration packs on PFDs from that, and I really love the system they have here, and that's why I'm giving it a PaddleTV award. So that's all I got to say about the hydration pack. Now the Odyssey PFD, this is a PFD that I used on a number of my paddling adventures here. It's designed for touring and sea kayaking, but it really is for me an all-round PFD. I use this on the 5-day whitewater river trip down the Petawawa that I did, instead of a whitewater specific PFD. Why? Well, the primary reason is because of all the pockets. It has 4 big pockets, one on the inside, one on the outside. It just lets you keep things on hand so you don't have to dig into your boat. Between the having gear here and having stuff in the deck bag, the Deck Pod Pro, I had access to a lot of stuff very easily. The next reason I'm giving this award is because this is newly designed for 2024, and it's got what they call their Orbit Fit system. What they did is, instead of just putting chunks of foam inside the life jacket that you crank down, and over time it conforms more and more to your body. What they did inside here is they created almost like different layers of foam that can slide against each other. And so that lets the life jacket conform much better to your body right out of the gate. The other thing they did is they created multiple sizes. Before, when you got a small or a medium or an extra large life jacket, all that really meant was that these shoulder straps and side straps were longer so that bigger people could handle it. But it was the same amount of flotation. The new line, including the Odyssey, the different sizes have different amount of flotation to fit different sized people. So you have to get the right size life jacket, of course. Again, I'm giving it a PaddleTV award because I love this life jacket, and that's why I took it on so many of my different adventures this year. Now, the next PaddleTV award I'm giving to a kayak, and this is actually the only PaddleTV award that I'm giving to a boat this year. I tested quite a few boats this year, but I didn't test as many as I have in years past. And they were all, actually you can see the reviews, and I really enjoyed all of them. They were all really good. But one stood out to me as deserving of a PaddleTV award, and that's the Hurricane Prima 125. So why am I giving it a PaddleTV award? Well, that's pretty simple. It's fast, it's light, and it's got some great basic features. Now, when I say it's fast for a 12-foot kayak, but still stable enough for a complete beginner to enjoy and have confidence in. And it's fast because it doesn't have a lot of rocker and it has a great V-hull design. Now, it's light because it's thermoformed. It's not rotomolded like a lot of recreational kayaks are made. Thermoforming reduces the weight by about 20% as compared to rotomolding. And so the end weight of the boat is around 40 pounds for a 12-foot kayak, which is great. It means that one person can fairly easily carry it by throwing it on their shoulder. Now, the features that the Prima has that are really nice: it has 2 bulkheads for safety, it has a stern hatch, it has a gear track, it has foot braces, thigh pads, and a removable frame seat. Now, it's not a cheap kayak. It retails for around $1,500, which is a couple $100 more than comparable rotomolded kayaks. And so it's not for everybody. But if you want a light and high-performing kayak, this is a really nice boat. Well deserving of a PaddleTV award. You can watch the full review. I'll leave a link down below. Next PaddleTV award goes to, well, this stuff right here. Not so much the barrel. Barrels have been around for a very long time, and for canoe tripping and raft tripping, they're absolutely fantastic. I've had this barrel for 25, 30 years. I'm not sure how long. Absolutely love it. It's this system here in particular that is, well, I should give an award to the barrel too, because barrels they are awesome, but they're particularly awesome when you have a good harness system, because they are a bit awkward to portage, carry carry in general when you don't have it. This harness system by Recreational Barrel Works is really very cool, highly adjustable and highly customizable and very comfy. The only downside about this harness system is that it can be a bit overwhelming at first. There are so many different options for customizing this thing that you can get caught up in it, but you don't need to. The joy of this system is that the more trips you go on with it, the more you learn how you like to organize things. It can accommodate all that type of customization. This package also comes with these things, these barrel buckets. There's 3 barrel buckets that I got. I got one insulated one, obviously for food that I want to keep cold. And then there's a few non-insulated ones. The joy of barrel buckets is that whatever you're carrying in the barrels, I typically use it for food. You might organize it really well, but within 24 hours, 48 hours tops, it's going to be a disaster. I mean, you just can't keep them organized without something to keep them organized with. And that's what these barrel buckets do. It lets you organize and just take out what you want, put the other stuff back in very easily. You've got the buckets, but you also have the organizers, which go around the side, because there's always space on the side of the on the inside of the bucket. And this lets you further organize stuff, the small things that you want to have easy access to. Then they have these side organizers that can be attached on the outside of the barrel, wherever you want, really. Again, it comes down to customization. Are you going to use all these pieces? Well, in time, I think you will. For me, I used this and tested this on a 7-day river trip on the Des Moines River. And that's where I really learned to appreciate this system. But I also learned to appreciate the fact that I had a lot to learn about using this system, and I was going to need to use it a lot more to customize it to my liking, or to take full advantage of it, I should say. Very cool system, highly deserving of a PaddleTV award. So the next PaddleTV award goes to, well, a couple of Aquabound paddles, very different Aquabound paddles. Now, full transparency, once again, Aquabound has been a sponsor of mine for, gosh, almost 3 decades. And so you don't stay with a company using a product for that long unless you really, really love the product. And I do. I've loved all their products over the year. This is a totally new type of product from Aquabound. This is the aerial whitewater paddle. Very different from any of their paddles in the past. It's got a fiberglass or carbon blade. This is the fiberglass, the blue one, and full carbon shaft. A couple of things that make this paddle unique. It's not its weight. This isn't the lightest paddle, but that's not important to me when I'm whitewater paddling. What's important to me is confidence, having confidence and being able to trust my paddle. And this is a confidence inspiring paddle that I trusted the whole time. And I put this thing to the real test. I didn't just give a light test. I used this on a 5-day, highly committing whitewater river trip down the Petawawa. I used it paddling the Trinity River in California. I used it on a variety of other local paddling trips, including the Otto River. I have tested this, hence all the scratches on it, and I never once questioned the paddle, period. I never once questioned the paddle. So what is particularly interesting about this paddle? Well, for one thing, the shaft, not only is it got a nice oval ergo grip, but it has a wonderful grippy coating on it. Now, grippy coatings can go the wrong way. If it's too grippy, it can just tear your calluses off. But the coating on this thing is just grippy enough so that your hands don't slip at all, but not too grippy that you're tearing calluses. Awesome, awesome shaft, awesome grip. The blades, even though this isn't the heaviest or the lightest paddle, the blades swing out of the water really nicely. But more importantly, these blades they're very rigid. There's not a lot of flex to them, and they have what they call lamb lock. This lamb lock is basically, they've used this aramid threads, these super strong threads, to sew the edge of the blade together with Fiberglass or carbon blades, the biggest issue is delamination, the laminates coming apart. They've sewn the laminates together around the edge to stop that from happening. Provides better impact resistance, better abrasion resistance, just more strength, period. Makes a ton of sense. Time will tell how effectively it actually works. They said it's 5 to 10 times more durable because of it. We'll soon find out, but I don't doubt that. Anyway, very, very cool paddle, well worthy of a PaddleTV award. Now, the second Aquabound paddle is a very different type of paddle. And this paddle you haven't really seen yet because it's not out yet. This is a 2025 model. In fact, you won't be able to buy it until spring 2025. They sent this to me. This is the Tetra Ultralight touring paddle. They sent this to me to test. And I was like, okay, you're going to send it to me to test. I'm going to test it. I took this and used it on a 5-day sea kayaking trip on Lake Superior. Pretty much the ultimate test I could think of putting it through. I mean, it covered about 60 miles, 100 kilometers, some big water, big open water, rock gardens, a bit of everything. I tested it and I loved it. I loved how it paddled. It is, I mean, it's called the Tetra Ultralight and it's ultralight. I wish you could feel what I feel. It feels wonderful in the hands. But even more importantly, possibly, is I trusted it the whole time, just like I trusted the Ariel. It has the same, it's a full carbon paddle. It has the same grippy coating on the shaft, not too grippy, but grippy enough so that you're not going to have the paddle swivel in your hands. You're not going to lose grip or tire out your hands too much, holding it, making sure it doesn't swivel in your hands. It also has the lam lock, sewing the edges of the blade together, the laminates together so that it won't delaminate. It's more both impact and abrasion resistant. Absolutely beautiful how this paddles, how the blades pop out of the water with every stroke. The smaller, narrower blades allow for long days of paddling, which I did. Truly worthy of a PaddleTV award. Unfortunately, you won't be able to take advantage of this paddle until spring 2025, but I'll leave a link in the description box down below to where you can find more information about this paddle. And there you have it. Those are my PaddleTV awards for paddling gear this year. This was a year where I feel like all the PaddleTV awards I gave, I couldn't have tested the gear much more. I put them through some serious tests on some real big multi-day backcountry adventures, and so they are deserving of PaddleTV awards, but they're not the only products that are deserving of PaddleTV awards, and that's what I'd like to know from you. These are the products that I actually tested this year. I can only test so many products every year. I can only get so many products to test, but I want to know what products you saw or tried this year or have that you think are deserving of PaddleTV awards. Leave a comment down below with that thing. If you want me to test something, then absolutely let me know in the comments, but the better thing to do is actually email the manufacturers. Tell them to get me that product so that I can test it, because I'm game. I'm game for testing products. The biggest challenge I have is actually getting products to test. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to PaddleTV if you haven't already, and stay tuned because there's lots more tips, gear reviews, awards, and paddling adventures.